Babushkas, my Babinskis, I have returned again. Oh, my chest hurts. Ow. Today, we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be reading my old Wattpad fanfics I used to read when I was like 10. So that's great. I'm not too happy about this because I've read some weird shit and I kind of don't want to remember that. But because I decided, hey, why not have a good time and do a little nostalgic reading? Yeah. There's a lot on there. I could probably already tell. Like, I've been obsessed with Has Been a Tell and Hell of a Boss. I shouldn't have called her back. Anyways, let's just get into it. You know how we are. Alright. I just got onto my Wattpad account and holy. Maybe making this video was a mistake. Alright, let's see. We have a lot of Transformer fanfics. My Little Pony, Cuphead, Cedric, all the good ones. Well, this will be fun, won't it? Let's see, let's pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by the toe. If he says to not read this, I will listen to him because I don't ever want to do this ever again. I choose, alright, you. Whoops. What did I do? Help me, help. Ah, what the heck? Ah! I don't want to. Oh my god, this is pissing me off a little bit. Hold on, how do I do this? I think I got it. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Okay. Yes, update. What am I reading? Today, we're gonna be reading Camp Max X Reader. Save me. It's by _fabulous. It has 140k views and 33 parts. This isn't like a one-shot thing. This is like a whole story. This was actually my favorite one to read, actually. Besides, like, for more, like, the one-shot stories. This one was actually my favorite, like, story-wise one to, like, actually read. That's not, like, one shot here, and then, like, next chapter's another one shot, and then another one shot, you know. It's actually, like, a full story dedicated to, like, one character, and you getting with them or whatever. Anyways, let's read the description. You're a shy, quiet girl who finds it very difficult to talk to anyone. Already up to a great start. Perfect. She's just like me, for real. He is a defensive, angry boy who has a few close friends. Your father, sick of taking care of you, sends you off to summer camp. You don't care, though. Anything to get you away from him. When you arrive, however, you meet a boy who could possibly change your life. And you could change his. Any art is not mine. Warning. Mentions of self-harm, abuse, swearing, of course, and violence. This story will be including... The story will include David. Oh, no, David. Gwenvid, and also Mama Gwen. What? It looks like the reading time to finish all this will be 12 hours and 27 minutes. I don't get that. I don't get that time on me. I'm gonna read like a couple of chapters or whatever. This might be a little series, actually. This might take a few videos to actually fully get through it. If you want to read the story yourself, the creator's right here. I'll put her in the description. Let's just get right into it. I can't wait to read my favorite childhood fanfic.
Hey guys, gonna do a little warning right here. This like fanfic contains like heavy mentions of SH and abuse. So skip this whole video if you're sensitive to these topics. I also want to point out that when I was recording this, I was struggling to find a way to react to this because the story was getting very bizarre. So I was just reacting to the oddness of how the story was written and to not fully focus on the serious aspects of it. But anyways, that's it. Oh, and also this user loves Satan, but I think they're just making a joke about their personality and mood. Just a heads up.
Act 1, Chapter 1. Welcome to hell. Cut that. YN's POV. Fun fact, for a while, YN, I thought it was pronounced yin. Y-I-N. Yin. Until I found like people actually pronounce it YN. And I'm like, so I've been fucking pronouncing that shit in my head wrong Because it stands for your name. So I'm like, oh, it's Yin. Dumbass, no, it's YN. I'm late. I'm so late. I sprinted down the street at top speed, dodging any people. I was supposed to be home by 5. Now it's 6:30. My father will not be happy. I neared the house and carefully opened the door to not make any noises. However, I was not very lucky, and the door closed with a loud thud. YN! Just put Eileen because that's my name. Eileen! My father's drunken voice echoed around the house. Yes, sir. His footsteps became louder before I even saw him coming. I knew what was about to happen. What? Smack. I hurt my neck so bad. I felt like a snap in here. Am I gonna be okay? You idiot! I continued to look down my feet. Oi, bitch, look at me when I'm talking to you. He suddenly grabbed me by the throat, pinned me against the wall, squeezing hard. Yo! You're such a useless child, he continued to yell at me, holding my throat tighter. He let go, threw me to the floor. My father then proceeded to punch me. Holy shit. How the fuck? What? When he finally stopped, I ran upstairs to my room and locked myself inside. I knelt down into the floor and calmed my breathing. Lifting my sleeve carefully, I looked down my bruises and cuts. Tears threatened to spill as I bandaged them up. An hour later, banging on my door woke me up. Oi, brat, come here. I hesitantly unlocked the door and opened it. Yes, sir. My father pulled up a leaflet, and threw it at me. I'm sending you to summer camp. I can't put up with your shit through the summer. You're going to a music one. I was surprised my father even remembered I liked music. Thank you, sir.
Oliver.
Shut up and pack your things. You leave tomorrow. Paperwork's already done. Wow. He really wants to get rid of me. I can feel my neck hurting a lot. Am I gonna get arthritis already? That shit hurt. He then growled and walked off. I closed my door and locked it. I then started to grab my long sleeve shirts, hoodies, and other clothes I would need. I didn't own much apart from a violin my mother brought me before she left home. Is that why I loved violin so much when I was younger? Because of this story? Was I trying to be this character? Oh my god! Is that why I like violins? I stared down at a small razor on the bedside table. I couldn't use that as defense. Oh, right, it was in the bedroom. Come on! I quickly grabbed it and walked into the bathroom. Uh-oh. I think I need to cut this out. Yeah, I'm cutting all that. I didn't know this was in the story. I totally don't remember this at all. This is dark. Oh my goodness. I didn't put like a warning up at the beginning. I put the blade in one of my suitcases to zip it shut. Having finished packing, I placed the case by a wardrobe alongside with my violin in its case. Sighing deeply, I changed into my pajamas as the shirt I was wearing had blood. Once in my sleepwear, I laid down on my bed and let my anxiety take over. What if no one likes me? What if they all hate me like everyone else does? What if I get bullied? This is the type of shit I also think of when I'm going to bed and I have to go somewhere where I don't want to go, hence like camp. I sighed deeply, rolled up over on my side, falling asleep. I awoke 6 the next morning and started putting on the clothes I laid out the night before. I was now wearing a black hoodie with black long sleeve shirt underneath, FC leggings, and a pair of trainers. Alright, hold on. So wearing a black hoodie, black long sleeve shirt underneath, FC leggings. What does FC mean? I've read a lot of fanfic in the past, like, I don't know, I want to say 7 years. Probably more, actually. Probably like 9 years of fanfic. I know. What does FC mean? Favorite clothing? Is that what it means? I pulled down my sleeves a bit. A habit of mine. I'm debating right now if I should read this or not. This is like kind of dark. I don't think I can say a lot of this on YouTube. And I'm kind of afraid if this is going to get darker. I picked the worst fanfic to read too. I grabbed my suitcase and put my violin case around my back. I walked downstairs and was greeted by my father, who looked and even drunker than before. It was obvious by the smell of booze he had been drinking. "Are you ready, brat?" he snarled. "Excuse me." I nodded meekly. I walked out of the door, and headed towards the bus stop. When the bus finally arrived, I got on. I looked at the creepy man who was driving it. I sat down at the front seat and stared out of the window. I'm skipping words. Why am I skipping words? Max POV. Ooh, we get to see what Max is thinking. Probably another plan to escape the camp. How does Max talk? It's been such a long time since I've watched a camp episode. David was trying to piss me off, going on about this new camper. We haven't had one in a year. Honestly, I'm sick of him talking about her. How does David sound? I don't remember how David sounds. I really should watch an episode and then come back to this, because I don't remember a single thing how they sound like. Hold on. "I bet she's awesome," he said in an annoying jolly voice of his. "Isn't this cool? You gotta share pets with her, Max." I don't think David sounded like that. Why does he have an accent? "B," I said in a sarcastic tone. "That's the spirit." I rolled my eyes at his stupidity. "Here's the bus now." I sighed, followed David, hoping I wouldn't have to share with a total freak. Max! Be nice! You think I'm a freak? Of all the other campers were surrounding the bus. The door held open and had a short girl stepped out. Alright, enough with the short jokes. I'm getting it from my bestie. How is the story making fun of my height? I'm 5'3". She had a HLHC hair and EC eyes. She was so cute. Yeah, I don't remember what this means. I feel stupid. Whoa, where the fuck did that come from? I felt myself go red. Everyone started gasping. I sick like YN, boy. You're so cute and small. I guess you're Eileen on edge, David asked. Hey, David, I don't think you can call the little kid coming out of the bus cute and small. David? I'm an undercover cop. Put your hands behind your back. Anything you say, it will be used against you. You have the right to attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be returned to you. Put your hands behind your back. Spread them. David? Stop eating! She nodded timidly and stepped out, only to be surrounded by the others. I moved into the center where she was, looked right in her eyes before saying, "I'm Max. Welcome to hell." Hold on, gotta do a little rap. He did the thing where it's like, no counting dollars when we count stars. Welcome to hell. I don't like the mix with the shy, cute, small girl who can date every guy in the whole universe and not get away and get that mixed with self-harm. It's not a really good look for people who actually go through it. And it's not really respected enough. I hate that. Act 1, Chapter 2. The first day. YM's POV. As soon as I stepped down the bus, the other kids surrounded me. It was kind of imitating, as they were all taller. A boy made his way through the crowd. Crude? That's not crowd, that's crude. Crudes? Grug? I stared in front of me. We locked eyes. He said, "I'm Max, and welcome to hell." What is wrong with me, dude? He was wearing a dark blue hoodie, had black curly hair, and green eyes. David's voice cut to the crowd. "Eileen!" Oh, hold on. "Eileen, you and Max can follow me, since you two are going to share a tent," he said joyfully. Max rolled his eyes. He said, "Come on, bitch." "Fuck you, bitch. The fuck? Who you calling bitch? I was slightly offended by this, but hid it well. I've been called worse. Dude, just... Max! A language, David scolded. Max stuck his tongue out. And walked behind David while I walked next to him. David walked over to a row of fairly large tents and went to one that was further away from the others. Eileen, this is your tent. He placed my bags down, ruffled my hair. I went stiff with the sudden motion, and David must realize, because he stopped. Can you leave, David? You're creeping her out, Max said, sitting in one of the beds. Thank you. David frowned for a second, but turned to me and grinned at me. Turns out he's like the evil David. I hope you enjoy your new stay at camp, he said before leaving. I quickly unpacked my stuff and put it away neatly. I placed my violin in a suitcase at the end of my bed and sat down carefully on my bed. Today's a free day, so do whatever Today's a free day, so do whatever the frick you want, Max said. He suddenly got up and grabbed my arm. Come on, we're heading to the mess hall. Max, 10 feet. Okay, Max, look off. Remember, guys, this is this character, not us. We're not trying to date Max. Max is a little boy. We're not dating him. We're just reading, this story of YN. Who's YN? I don't know. Never heard of her. Sometimes I scare myself. I'll catch myself glimpsing in my screen, and I'll see my eyes widen, and it scares the crap out of me. Cause I'm like, who the flip is that? And I remember, oh, it's me. So I can't sleep at night. And let myself be dragged towards the building and inside. There were a few tables, and other kids were eating food. Max let go of my arm immediately and went over to the table where a green-haired girl and a brown-haired boy was sitting. All right, let's remember the names. I think brown-haired boy is named Neil, and green-haired girl is named Jinxie. What's her name? Jackie? What? No. Flip, I can't remember her name. Nikki! I had quickly grabbed the book before leaving, so I sat in the far corner of the mess hall and started to read. I didn't notice people were staring at me when I felt a sudden hand on my shoulder. I jumped, covered my head with my hands, still trembling. I looked up and saw Max with his two friends. Whoa! Well, chill, the brown-haired boy said. I like her, the green one said. Come on, you're staying with us, Max said, a hint of concern in his voice. I oddly didn't sat down with them, but stayed silent. Eileen, this is Nikki and Neil. I got that locked. Max introduced me to his friends. I waved hello, but didn't speak. Not much of a talker, huh? Who's talking? I shook my head nervously. I don't want to do... I just got a headache. Attention, campers. David's cheery voice stopped. Neil or Nikki asking any more questions? Damn it, are you freaking insane? The last competition we had with those pricks nearly put us all in a Boy Scout uniform, Max yelled. You're kind of getting on my nerves, Max. Shut up! Max, language. I think a friendly contest is a good idea. The whole mess on growled. Ugh! And continued their business. I glanced over at David, who looked disappointed. Poor guy. Max POV. David, I freaking insane. The last competition we had just picked nearly a pass of Boy Scout uniform. I heard about that. I yelled in frustrated tone. And exactly what exactly what was coming next. Max, language. I think this friendly contest is a good idea. I groaned along with everyone else. I turned back to Nikki and Neil. And YN. And Eileen. This is Bo to the dookie, I said to no one in particular. Tell me about it. David is such a dumb bass, Neil agreed, chuckling slightly. Well, maybe if I'll get to send a wolf or vulture on them, Nikki joked, half serious. I'm hoping this time it's not for a fated camp, Neil said. I could hardly hear the rest of what Neil was saying. I had turned my attention to Eileen, who had gone back to her book. Excuse me. He had a HL, HC, halt, and big EC eyes. This is so weird, because I don't know what this means except hair length and hair color. She had long blue hair and big green eyes. Made my tummy tingle wingle. Her lips looked so soft, it delicate. It could just... You could just... What, Max? What you talking about? Max? Max? What are you talking about? I don't like this. Max? Neil uncalled. You? You were staring at Eileen. Nikki teased. I blushed fearlessly, snapped my head towards her. I don't want to do that again. It's gonna hurt my neck. I'm gonna get arthritis in my neck. No, I wasn't. Shut the flip up. Flipper. Yeah. Neil chimed in. Anyways, I'm bored. What should we do? We could head into the woods, Nikki suggested. Sure. You coming, Eileen? She looked up at the back. Huh? Bangs covering her eyes. I don't have bangs. I mean, if you could call this bang. And tonight will be night. I will fall for you. I really should cut a lot of this out. Oh my God. Eileen nodded slowly, close to a book. The four of us got up and headed out the mess hall. Nikki leaving. Scratch! In reaction of the campus hurt me. I thought they'd be real about competition. Please return my direction. I feel like crying. I looked over at Eileen to see if she was disappointed too. Surprisingly, she wasn't. She lit up pure sympathy. I gave her a smile. She returned it back to I continued to watch my group, and there was Max staring at Eileen with a lovesick look. It was adorable. I'm positive he likes it. Now I just need proof. What? Buddy, I don't think if a grown adult, like a teacher, saw someone was in love, like saw a student in love with another student, they would be like, oh, they're in love. Now I just need to catch it on camera. Like, buddy, why is David like such a weirdo? And why is that Max such a dick? And why is YN a weird looking, short, snarky girl who likes reading? Max. Yeah? Max never stutters. You were staring at Eileen. No, I wasn't. Shut the flip up. Max's face was redder than a tomato. I'm even more positive he likes it. He likes her now. I squealed into Tony. And had a huge smile on my face. What the flipper are you smiling at? Gwen asked, so suspicion in her voice. I'm just excited about a new coming. I felt so guilty lying to Gwen. Lying is a terrible thing to do. But I know if I told her, she would make a huge deal out of it. I didn't want her to meddle. I'm spitting all over my iPad here. This is disgusting. Lions POV. I immediately followed Max, Neil, and Nikki. We got deeper and deeper into the woods. I started to think we're lost. Nikki, where the flip are we going? Max asked, airing my thoughts. So we just left the mess hall and no one, the two people who are renting this place, they'd think, huh? Yeah, they'll be fine. I'm wondering why this place isn't shut down. Actually, I think it did like multiple times. You know, I don't like camping. I hate it. I hate the bugs, I hate the danger, and I hate the woods at night. It's like mixed with the Blair Witch in the ritual, and they just crumble it all together, and they just put the most stupidest person in that situation. Me. Sleep? You want me to sleep out there? No. Relax, Max. I know my way around. Nikki said. Max rolled his eyes, stuffed his hands in his pocket. And suddenly, Max tripped on a root and fell to the ground. He yelled, looking down at his knee, which was now bleeding. How? I've seen my bestie break her ankle in front of me. She did not bleed. How did he bleed? Max, are you okay? Neil asked frantically. Neil, calm the flip down. I'm fine. He stood up carefully, but wobbling slightly, kneeling, falling again. Let's head back, you guys, Nikki said, turning back to the direction of the camp. Now we decided to go back. Now, what was the whole point of going from halfway to point B to all the way back to point A? What was the point? Nobody realized he disagreed with him. Eileen, why don't you help Max walk? Neil said. I nodded slowly and held my hand out for Max. He looked at me for a second before hesitantly grabbing it, put his arm around my shoulder, and leaned on me for support. My God, Max, you scraped your knee. Like, how can you not walk anymore? Like, I fell down the slide and still walked a mile back to my house. I watched my bestie break her ankle in front of me and still walked to the parking lot of the car to get inside. Max falls and scrapes his knee with a little scratch on it. He needs me to help him, like, get through the woods. The whole walk back to the camp was silent, extremely awkward. Neil blipped the silence. Damn, you let us out far, Nick. Damn, you let us out far, Nikki, he complained. To be honest, I had no clue where I was taking you guys. I just went with the flow, she said, grinning back at us. It's great to hear, Nikki. I love how our only person that we were following was leading us into death, and she didn't even know it. Neil glared at her, frustrated, like, I know the sky was turning a dark shade of purple. Guys can do that. I thought they turned orange. Yeah, are we almost there? It's getting late, Neil asked nervously. Yeah, I can see the campgrounds in the distance, Nikki reassured us. Dave's probably gonna lecture us about some dookie wookie or another. Max squealed, staring me slightly as he'd been quiet the whole time. This flippin' dippin' stings, he winced. I feel real bad for him being in pain. I don't. He's being a whole dookie wookie to us the entire time we were here, and he gets a little scratchy and he's whining about it. Betty, grow up! The person who got a little scratch on her hand and was crying about it. I really felt bad for him. As we entered the campgrounds, I could hear David's words. There you are! I gently sat Max down, right before David scooped me up, squeezed me tight. David, can't you see, like, Max is in desperate need of help? Despite his small little scratch on his knee. Back up! Back up, David! Back up! Why are you just randomly coming up to kids and hugging them? Yeah, we were gone for the whole day, but that's no excuse for coming up and hugging me. So worried! Are you guys hurt? Max tripped and hurt his knee. Nikki piped up. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Eileen, could you bring me Max back to your dad? What? I get the first aid. Excuse me. Nodded. Helped Max up again. When we reached the tent, I sent him back down on the bed and stood by the tent flaps waiting for David to arrive. Hey, thanks for your help today, he mumbled. I smiled at him. For the first time today, I spoke. You're welcome, I said shyly. Max looked extremely shocked. I was about to say something when David walked in, came in forsaken. He quickly cleaned Max's wound and bandaged it up. There you go, Max. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. Thanks, and poopy dookie. Now, PC-weesy off, Max said modestly. David smiled flattened as half-heartedly glared at him. Language, David scolded. He turned around and grinned at me, ruffling my hair again. This time, I didn't move away. Good job, Eileen, he said before walking out of the tent. I walked over to my bed, lay down carefully on it. I was so exhausted I fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Same. I remember I walked, like, I think 3 miles with my bestie around town. And the second I like, couldn't even walk anymore after that. I don't know if that was because we were walking for so much, or that was because I fell off a slide. You tell me. Early hours of the morning, I felt warmth and arms around my waist. Then I turned to see Max. Max, why are you cuddling me in my sleep? This surprised me, so my first reaction was try to get out of his arms. But the more I moved, the more tighter his arms wrapped around me. I eventually stopped trying and relaxing into his chest, apparently highly. I could feel his breath on my skin. I looked at Steve's face, he was smiling slightly. His cheeks were tilted pink. I rolled over again to face the flap of the tent and close my eyes. Imagine a scenario. Well, then again, why would I be put in a tent with a boy? I feel like if tents nowadays would be put with, like, girls, boys, would not just roll over and just go to bed if I saw the boy I was sharing a tent with cuddling me. I would instantly punch him in the face, grab his arms, rip them out of his body, take his hair, scalp him, take his head, Spider-Man slam him, get the stones out, snap my fingers, watch him dust away, vacuum it up, throw them out into the lake, and watch the suns come up to the sunrise. Again, I was awoken. I I felt a cold on my side and hurt. I was so exhausted to move, so I closed my eyes. What? Max, what are you doing? Is Max killing us? A moment later, I felt myself being lifted off the floor. I opened my eyes slightly and looked into the pussy. You fell out of bed, sweetie, he whispered gently. What is going on? Oh, but they remind me of my mom. He set me down on my bed, draped the covers over my body. I snuggled down into them, and I heard David chuckle slightly. He lay down, kissed my forehead before walking out of the tent. Buddy, I don't think you are not allowed to do that to other people's children. As I slept, one thought was on my mind. Was Max being in my bed just a dream? No, I think Max was trying to kill us. Got caught by David. And David's put me back in bed. Wait, what? How do we end up on the floor? That's where we're gonna stop. I think 2 chapters is enough for me. Ah! Yeah, let's put that away. So, what did I think of the story? Yeah. That was something. I think I don't like, then again, this was many years ago. I don't like the trope of the cute and small character who's so shy around everyone, and the main boy of the, whole story attraction is attracted to her. She, is also, self-hating herself. But I feel like we shouldn't, normalize that and make that, quirky. I don't know. I'm not really good on this subject, so I really don't want to be let's make fun of it type trope or make it quirky or relatable type trope. It's something I don't like, and I don't want to make fun of that. This whole story is a fanfic, so not everything's going to be exactly according to the show. Max having a crush on the first girl who comes to camp is weird, and David being weirdly sweet and constantly babying us. I don't like that. That's something I don't like. At the end of the day, I don't know. So what do y'all think? Should I read more of that? Should I pick another one from my reading list? Should I look one up myself? There are a lot that I want to read from my reading list. Specifically that one. Thank you. One, the Max Camp. And then there's one where it's a bunch of Osborne one-shot ones, which I really liked when I was a kid, because when I was I think 10, I had a crush on Willem Dafoe, the actor. I swear, if my parents see this, I'm not gonna ever do this again. I swear. If my parents see this, my guys, dudes, hey y'all, if you guys are watching this, bye. Look at the toes, yeah.